Good evening. Joe Skibby with Beats, Beds, and Browns here with another live interview. Tonight we've got Dango Forlaine out of Detroit, a real one from the Fly Lords fold, a voice that's been pushing avant-garde lyricism, raw truth, and sonic grit. The Midwest bass line's always thick, but Dango's bringing something poetic and sinister with it all at the same time. Let's welcome Dango Forlaine.
Peace, peace. What's going on?
All right, man. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate you sharing your time with us tonight. We're going to ask the question we ask of all our guests. What's time and space to a Mayan?
if you did, if you did start every interview like that, that'd be great. That'd be a great question. You might go viral.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it. I love it. And the God Alliance, if you haven't caught that track, please check it out. For real,
Peace.
though, the question we do ask of all our guests, where you at, where you been, and where you going?
Right now, I'm in Detroit, Michigan, man. Shout out to the 313. That's where I'm from, born and raised, man. I'm an East Sider, do or die. So that's where I'm from. And then you said where I'm at, where I'm going.
Yeah.
Oh, these are good questions. All right, so that's where I'm at. That's where I'm from. Where I'm going is universally, you know what I'm saying? All across the universe, all across the spaces of time and matter, man. So, nothing ever dies and neither will I. You know what I mean?
I
So
like it. I like it. A rebirth sprung forth from the ground, just like a seed comes springtime.
come on, you we speaking the same language, Joseph. Come on.
Nice, nice. Dango, we've been checking you out and digging deep on Spotify, checking out your streaming discography. How would you describe your sound to someone who's never heard it?
Oh shit. Well, yeah, it could be like it could be gritty but apocalyptic, but it could be smooth and calming. You know what I'm saying? Introspective, very hopeful, you know what I'm saying? But it could also be like I don't want to use like cliche words, but it could be like dirty, you know what I'm saying? And it could be like real, you know what I'm saying? Like reality, you know what I mean? But you get a good mix, man. I got a big discography and a lot of different experiences, you know, fit
And
into
different
that.
evolutions and styles over those
Man,
discs and different
yeah.
sounds, but kind of the through line, it's just a vibe, man. It's
Right.
chill. It's chill, whether you're coming across aggressive or you're coming back laid back. It is
Beautiful.
truly a vibe.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. I try to provide a vibe, man, that people can ride around to, and do it other things too. Whatever they want to do, man. I just try to create music that I love and talk about the experiences I go through, man, and hope people can relate to it or vibe to it at least, even if they can't relate. So that's
Yeah,
peace.
nice. What are you working on now? I know we were talking before going live that you're just coming back from Toronto doing a show. What's next for you?
Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, just got back doing the brother Tom So his first show in Toronto. Did that as half of the Fly Lords. You know what I'm saying? That's a duo I got with Christopher Jose, who's from Toronto. So big up to my brother. Also want to give a shout out to Born King. And yeah, so just came back from doing that. But man, me and Chris, we just dropped as the Fly Lords. We just dropped a project called Crash the Party. You know what I'm saying? Which is like Fly Lords Volume One. So just be, you know what I'm saying? Be aware that Volume Two is in the works, and we got that coming up very soon. But even before that, I think I got about excuse me, I think I got about two, three projects that I'm gonna drop before then. If anybody's watched Netflix, like I'm trying to remember the name of the show, but it's the hip hop show that Chance the Rapper and Ti and all of them, they were like the hosts and stuff like that. It's a rapper that was top eight. It was a good friend of mine. We went to the same high school. His name is Sam B. Itself. Me and him got some dropping. You the first person to hear about that. So
Nice. We got an
super
exclusive.
super exclusive. And then another super exclusive is if you are familiar with my catalog from this year, I did an album with Low Key in the beginning of the year. We are turning back and doing another one. You know what I'm saying? And it's 93% done. We just got to work on some back end stuff. But yeah, man, like a lot of good stuff coming along. And I mean the future is bright when you fucking with me, man. It's because I'm a
Nice.
machine, man. I do a lot of work behind the scenes, and. it's just about timing. So
What does the writing process look like for you? Are you in your mind? Are you speaking it into your phone? Or you got a notebook? How are you constantly getting it out of your head?
yeah, that's a good question. I think I do always because I'm just like it, I mean, outside of having ADHD, you know what I'm saying? Like I've I grew up in a house with 11 siblings, you know what I'm saying? So it was like your mind is always going because you got to think about other people. You got to think about what's in the next room, whatever. So my mind is always on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I am always thinking about music, and I'm always with creating. And I grew up in a very creative household. My parents did music, and my siblings were musicians and stuff like that. So for me, it's always sparks coming. You know what I'm saying? This, that idea, that idea. So I'm writing out. Sometimes it'll just be a title, a name, and I'll write it down. Or sometimes I have a line and I'm like, all right, let me write that line down. Sometimes I got a
Build it off
melody.
one brick and just finish the building that way.
Yeah, come on, that's how pyramids is built. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I like if you I mean, I'll give it a shot. You can look at how my notes is organized. But like this is all projects or ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay. So like a separate
folders.
folder, drop it
Yeah,
in, build off that. When it pops in, go to that file,
exactly.
check it out.
Exactly. So and that's pretty much the same across all the resources that I use, all the tools that I use. So yeah, man, I think I do it all, man, because it's even voice memos, man. I jot down the idea real quick. So
So much of the audio is paired with the video now and having visuals to go with the different sounds. And what visuals are running through your mind while you're writing? Are you piecing all that together as a finished product, or does one only go audio or lyrics, or does one go to the images later down the road? Or
yeah, I think it just depends because like it depends on the project or the song or whatever. Because most times I'm not thinking about the visuals because I'm pulling from an experience. So like I'm not the best at imagine imagining. You know what I'm saying? Like and then rhyming. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the best at that, but I'm really good at making my real life experience sound magical. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Making it sound like fantasy, but this is what's really happening. But taking it and creating a story, you know what I'm saying, from it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's what we
And
talked about earlier too. It's taking your story and your experience and making it relatable through the
exactly.
use of words, and that's what makes you as an artist unique and great.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, but like music videos, like a lot of times it's kind of done on the fly with me. It's only been a couple times where I was like writing or recording. I was like, yo, I see it. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me. And one of the times is a very like low key Easter egg type, you know what I'm saying, situation that if you listen to my music, you might find it. Or if you dig really deep, you know what I'm saying, you can find it. But I did shoot a music video that came to me, you know what I'm saying, like while I was making the music, I was like, oh, I already know. It was gonna be like kind of like a mini movie. But I did a project like almost 10 years ago called Young Angry Black Man. And I did a Young Angry Black Man 1 and 2. And yeah, I was gonna shoot like a whole mini series, mini film, you know what I'm saying, based off of that project. And we were able to get out one idea um before things ran dry. But yeah, we got out one idea and it is on YouTube. So I encourage, any Dango Forlaine fans to go find it because it's beautiful. It's a masterful piece of work. But that's like
So
one of the only
young angry
times.
black man, and what was the track?
I think that one is Man. Man
Man,
2. I think that's Man 2 because I dropped 1 and 2. So
nice. We'll definitely check that out. We'll share that on our story so other people
peace.
can vibe into it. Who were some influences, top five Detroit MCs growing up, and how they shaped your delivery?
Uh Now I could go two ways. I could go like the popular way and say like niggas that everybody know. But if we talking about Detroit, we're talking about my experience and who shaped me. Like it was one of he's not my blood brother, but you know what I'm saying, he's the father to one of my nieces. You know what I'm saying? And he treated me like a brother. I treat him like a brother. His name was Joe Millionaire. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he was fire. He had a homie called what his name was Ill Street Blues. You know what I'm saying? And so them two, like when I was, I mean, it was around when I was like 8 and 10, when I was like just reciting other people's raps all the time.
Yeah.
I'm rapping other people's shit at school, and they like, "Oh, you fire!" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." Right? But they helped me find my own sound. You know what I'm saying? And they showed me how to rap. You know what I'm saying? And so those are two. Guilty Simpson. I've been listening to Guilty since around that time too. You know what I'm saying? I found Guilty actually through video games. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he know that. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk to him and tell him that very soon, but probably Friday at the Detroit hip hop event. But um Guilty Simpson, like early on, like he said, I remember it was a video game, man, that I think it was maybe 2K or something like that. And I remember just hearing a song. It's called "Make It Fast," and he was like, "Definition of a true MC: I ain't the next nobody. I'm the first me." And I was like, "Oh." I'm like a kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Stretch Money, who is now a good friend of mine as well. Stretch and Guilty, man, very close companions of mine. But Stretch Money, man, we dropped "Take Money to Make Money." That just was like that was the anthem for the city because that's so Detroit. We so blue collar, but we a hustle city, especially if you from the east side. You just gotta hustle. Like that's just a part of that's ingrained in you. Um, and then I say Blade Icewood, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That whole movement was just very, you know what I'm saying, pivotal. You know, it was very influential. Like my whole life was was centered around that type of sound, that type of movement in the place that I was, you know what I'm saying, in the hood that I was in. So it was just like I was grateful to grow up with those type of musical influences, but also like that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's just like hustle mentality. Like that song go boy boss up and get this money, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like from a young age, we taught to be hustlers. So I'm grateful for those five, man. I say biggest influences out of Detroit coming up for sure.
Nice. Yeah, and that's incredible. And obviously Detroit has gone from the pinnacle to the ashes, and now the phoenix rises again,
The
right? And
Phoenix rise again, baby, for sure.
it's incredible. Can you talk a little bit about that as it relates to your experience from maybe seeing it early or mid resurgence, and now how agriculture has taken root in some of the urban areas and home
Yeah,
ownership in these communities? How it literally went from blocks of cleared out streets, and
yeah.
now areas like downtown by Ford Field, right, is a new shopping mall style football stadium. All of a sudden, not so new anymore, but
Yeah, man. I've been here for it all, and it's a very interesting uh evolution of a place. It's like, you hear about this type of stuff, growing up, or hear about, oh, people talk about, oh, my neighborhood used to be over here and this happened, blah blah. But like I actually seen it, like I seen my childhood home go from being like in my childhood streets. I grew up on Glenfield and Copland, you know what I'm saying? But between Newport and Copland, I grew up on Glenfield, and then also Chalmers was right there. If you're from the east side, you know what I'm talking about. And so like my street was full of houses growing up. Like the kids was always outside, whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in that environment. Like everybody knew everybody. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
were
it
there
was
other big families on the block, or were the four
hell
lanes,
yeah. Like
the
yo,
dirty dozen up and down?
listen, yo, exactly right. I had the big family, but it was other big families like 4, 5, 6, 7, people in the crib. But niggas used to come from Kilbourne over our house because we had rims and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we always hooped and we had a nice backyard and stuff like that. So, people was always coming to our spot. But it was all family oriented, man. The parents, trust each other. And my parents was pastors. So everybody, what I'm saying, was cool coming to our place, and the parents trusted the kids to come over our crib. So it was kind of cool, but I seen that block that was so live and like a whole bunch of crazy shit going on that block as well. But I seen it go from being live to it dying, and like now we fast forward to 2012, and in my house that I grew up in, spent the most majority of my life in, got tore down. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 years after the crisis. So then you go from that to now I go over there and like half the houses are torn down. But at the same time, you see the resurgence, see people are buying the homes again, you know what I'm saying? Or able to buy the homes again because
Sure.
we would have bought before too, you know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Sure. It's like a
what,
cycle. Now there's an arch district. Now the
it,
values go up. Now everything.
you know, for me, like I'm a seeker of truth, so and I don't want to get too dim, but you know, I know that a lot of things are you know what I'm saying, it's an architect behind it, and a lot of things are done intentionally with the
Sure.
intention of whatever. So it was interesting being in it, and now I'm out of it in a way because I'm aware of it and I see how it has happened,
Well,
but
and you could go back to the dawn of hip hop and the neglect of the neighborhoods in New York and how hip hop evolved from that degraded area that was just left neglected.
exactly. So it's a cycle repeating itself. But look at hip hop and look at Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like separately and together, because Detroit, you know what I'm saying, even musically, like after Motown fell off, went through some, you know what I'm saying, some decades of like we don't know what our identity is. And now look at us, Detroit is like at the pinnacle of hip hop. Everybody is doing Detroit sound and music. Everybody wants Detroit type beats. Niggas love Detroit rappers. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And same with our city. Our city is bouncing back. Even though it's a lot of, other elements is going on too, it's a lot of beautiful initiatives happen as well. And even if we talking about the agricultural side of things, like man, I've never seen so many neighborhood farms and neighborhood gardens in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like in Detroit is like I think we talked about a little bit
I mean,
before
they
we hopped
hired the
on.
first municipal leader in the agri-hood environment where they're
Exactly.
growing these downtown urban farms, and
Yep.
literally the city of Detroit hired someone in as a, not elected official, but working with the elected officials in city government.
Yep. So it's a big thing here, and it's like, but it's I like it could be empty. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be an empty gesture, but I've been on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I've been boots on the ground with it, and I know that it's really making a difference in the community. Like I got a homie, his name Rafa. He's sponsored by Carhartt, which is also a Detroit brand, also a Michigan brand. He took his urban garden from just being a garden to like almost a whole block, and then got the funding to start a neighborhood grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's real change, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that's the phoenix, as we will say. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. The more advanced we get, the more going back to our roots makes it all good again. It's
Exactly.
you talk about community investment and involvement. You talk about nutrition, mental health, and wellness, and
Sir.
it's people that garden have a lot of those issues figured out. It's insane.
Yeah, because the further away from the sun you are, the more you realize you need
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I know I'm guilty of that. We talked about it. Give me 15 minutes between a meeting. I'm in the yard walking.
trust me.
So
Yep, so
how
that's
uh
it. Yeah.
how important is sequencing in products? And are you building that narrative through your file structure and finding beats, or are you getting beats that you want to work on and tying in projects?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Mostly because like I said earlier, I'm just really quick with the creative. A lot of times I will have an idea for something already, and I will have no beats, no instrumentals, no music, but I know what I want the sound to be. And so what I'll do is I'll like, because I know certain producers, I know what they're capable of. If like they usually just it happens. We kind of conjoin at the right moment, and we both have the idea, and we like, let's do it. Which is beautiful because law of attraction really, what I'm saying, not to be corny, but like I'm magnetic, so I attract a lot of the things that I want and desire in life, and it comes to me. So I don't have to do too much begging or searching. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes. So
Yeah, you shouldn't have to swim upstream, right? If you can find someone in the creative vein along with you and you guys are vibing with the flow of the water, then that
Exactly.
should
You know what I'm
move.
saying? Like Bruce Lee said, be water, my friends. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to be. I try to be water. No trying, I am water. But yeah, so I mean, it kind of happens both ways, but more so, I would say I have an idea and I'm like, this is what I want it to sound like, and then the person comes that kind of makes the idea whole.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of going through the beats and I'm like, all right, this is good, this is good. Okay, this probably don't fit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whoopty whoop. And it usually works out, man. It works out to my favor. So I'm very grateful, I will say, to be the type of artist that producers want to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't had to worry, pay, or really like stress over a beat since like 2019, 2020.
Nice.
So I'm very grateful. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to all the producers, man. We make great music.
When you write, are you speaking to the people? Are you speaking to yourself, or are you speaking to the ancestors?
Oh, that's great. That's a great question, bro. The- I I'm not necessarily speaking to the ancestors at all, really, because they are in a space of eternity. You know what I'm saying? Where knowledge is freely given and it's not bound by physical, you know what I'm saying, manifestations of the 3D world. So like for me, it's more so like I am downloading this data from that realm and being able to translate it to the people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something that I know, right? And something that I've been given and I want them to know it. I want the people that's here that's living to know what this is. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are able to comprehend what I'm saying, hopefully they can take it and be able to tap into that same frequency and be able to translate those codes in whatever way that manifests for them, whether it's painting or whether it's speaking, orating, or whether it's music, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I I make music for myself, obviously, but like I'm giving people the keys to the universe. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that they're good stewards, you know what I'm saying, and they are able to decode it and use it in a way that they can now hit somebody else. Cause that's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's how you give knowledge and make sure that you're going for eons, man. Is
I
by
love
giving
it. I
somebody
love
else
it.
that
It feeds
knowledge.
so well into the next question. It's what role do you think artists play in healing and rebuilding a city like Detroit?
Oh, that's everything. That's everything. Uh it's funny because I was just I was riding around today doing some errands, and I'm a big J Electronica fan. And I had to think about it. I'm like, damn, I've been listening to this thing for like 20 years. Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you living with an artist so long, it's like you grow with them, you wait for them, you know what I'm saying? You anticipate, you chill, you do all that stuff with the artist. I'm like, man, I love J Electronica so much. And I was like, let me go listen to the first thing I ever heard from him. You know what I'm saying? That's Exhibit A and Exhibit C and all that type of shit. And I'm listening, I'm like, it's so many things that he was saying in those two songs that were not relevant in my life when I was a kid, but are relevant in my life now. And I'm like, man, that seed he planted. Imagine if he didn't take his art serious or he didn't spread the message that he did through the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, would I be different? You know what I'm saying? Would I have picked up on certain things? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to
That's
music,
a distinct point in time where you, as a listener, receive the message in a different way. And as you evolve, as your art evolves, that moment in time will reflect with people differently at different paths in their life.
exactly. And so it's the same as planting a seed. He planted a seed in my life, whether he knew it or not, whether I knew it or not. And it grew because I was able to water it or he was able to water, whatever. However, the steward, decides, you know what I'm saying? So, but it grew. And now I'm able to spread my seeds, and do the same thing, same process. So when it comes to Detroit and the music, like that is the most because you telling the story. Like, look at all the attention that Detroit is getting on a global level. Like, nobody is like we haven't been as popular since Motown, but like everybody's in tune. Our teams is winning. Like our teams are winning. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pistons are the number one team in not the league because Oklahoma City, but in the East, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The Tigers are decent. The Lions are number one in their division. So it's like,
Well, hold on. Not now. Not
oh,
now. The
okay,
Bears. I
respect.
say I'm in Chicago, right?
Look,
We
look,
got to
look,
go. The Bears
Chicago,
are
look.
number one in the division since first time since 2018. I can't let you misspeak on
Hey,
that one.
respect, respect. All right, but you know we doing good. We doing
Oh
good.
man, you guys have been good and whooping. Yeah.
But imagine like, you know, music is culture. I was talking to my girlfriend earlier. I said because it all spiraled off of this J Electronica thing. I'm like, music is still the most important and most effective way to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also like to keep us, like to tell somebody, translate a secret to somebody or whatever. Like, you know, I even think about my ancestors and what they went through. Like, they would sing songs to tell
Yeah.
you to
Yeah.
say
Around the
codes or
campfire, making music.
all of that is so original. You know what I'm saying? And it's been happening since the beginning. So it's like even to this day, that's still the most important way because the music creates the culture of the environment. So the Detroit sound has been around. Like niggas, like I said, I just mentioned Blade, Ice Split, Stretch Money. These cats been around, and then you get a Peasy, you get a 42 Doug, you get a, Babyface Ray, you get all these that are also speaking. You know what I'm saying, the same language with a different dialect, but it creates the culture of the city. And now everybody is like, oh, Detroit dude, they flashy, they get money, they got buffs on, they like rocking, you know what I'm saying, this, that. They hustle, they blue collar, they whatever. And now you got sports athletes that's not even from the city. You got political, you know what I'm saying? You got our governor throwing on the buses. That's all because of the music, brother. So
To
it's the
talk about
prophecy, man.
underground hip hop in Detroit or nationally as it relates to the declining relevance of drill and trap and other things where there's so much talent with underground artists and the
Yeah.
lyrics and everything else is vulgar and nonsensical and not saying anything. Like, how do you as an artist see that and hopefully agree with it? Hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, but
Yeah.
we see these artists that are telling stories, shining light on things that need a light to be shown. And
Hmm.
meanwhile, you've got all these beating a hook songs that are tearing up the charts that don't say nothing.
Well, see, what I would say was I'm from a very I have a very interesting background in regards to like sounds and stuff like that. So I appreciate all types of music and all from all different. What I will say, like I always believe that there's enough room for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm, if I'm doing this, if I'm in the streets and I'm selling crack and somebody else is selling, dope, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm like, man, there's enough room in the street. I've heard that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Streets, there's enough room. You know what I'm saying, for all of us. Niggas ain't gotta, but it's always this crabs in a barrel mentality, even in the music industry. But I digress. What I really want to say is that in today's society, it is a little bit more difficult for an underground artist. Whereas I think in the 90s and 2000, it was more of a everybody can eat mentality, and niggas was getting off, and you had Most Def was just as famous as fucking Ti or a Biggie was just as famous as a Q-Tip, like, and everybody respected each other because it wasn't like different. You know what I'm saying? It was all a part of it was all fingers in the same hand, because hip hop is that. You know what I'm saying? So it was it was more cool in that time. Now it's more divided, but even in the division, the underground sound in terms of the intellectual, you know, vibe, like is excuse me, it's definitely been subjugated to like the lower level of popularity. But you know, it's the extreme balance of life. It happens. Am I sad about it? No, not really, because you got other people that are at the mountain peak who are still opening doors for people who are intellectual and very lyrical and rap real good. Now, for me, like I'm not really a internet guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to do shit for the internet. So It can be a little bit more difficult for me because I'm not packaging myself in that way. I'm not doing the corny shit, that no disrespect to anybody, but I don't want to do any corny shit just to be popping. But at the same time, like I chose this road myself because I knew it was gonna be tough, but I know that I'm gonna be happier at the end of it because I'm doing this with the intention of I don't care who listens, like I don't care who likes it. This is top tier, you know what I'm saying, of this caliber of skill, and I'm gonna keep pushing this forward. I don't have to dumb it down. I don't have to, you know, go down to anybody's standards in order to pop, and that puts a chip on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Which is good because it makes me pump out better music. It makes me more competitive and things of that nature. So
No, I respect that, and that
yeah,
it's interesting because we talked a little bit about capitalism earlier, right? And the capitalism of vision and being on these streaming platforms and being on social media and the eyeballs. It's an eyeball
yeah,
economy, right? You're day
yes,
trading,
sir.
to quote Gary Vee. And how do we see someone who sits there and posts clips of their music all day for 24 hours and gets 1 million viewers and 1 million followers and monetizes, and then say we're going to be a true original and stick to that and do what we do, whether it's
Yeah,
performance, whether it's video, whether it's studio recording.
yeah,
It's going to be a challenge for artists to continue to be authentic.
yeah.
How many people, business owners, artists, performers, I'm not comfortable
Mm,
with the
mm,
with the lens on myself, but we have to do it.
yeah,
And you know, it's interesting what that does. What that does to the reflected, and
yeah,
what that does to the art in general.
yeah. And I like to think of it like this too. Like when began doing music, I knew I was out for something great, much greater than. I never wanted overnight success. I never wanted a fad. I never wanted to be viral. For me, this is real. Like I love hip hop. I'm a hip hop historian. You guys, anybody around me, even if they not around, they ran into me. I probably done dropped the jewel about hip hop. I love hip hop like I love myself. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I never wanted to cheat the game. I never wanted to cheat hip hop. And to this day, I'm still making that choice every day. I wake up and I say, I'm not gonna cheat hip hop because think like mediums change. Like right now, people are using Instagram, whatever, whoop de whoop to pop, and that changes. But what's never gonna change is like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm human. You know what I'm saying? And I can go into room in Chicago, and I can give a performance that makes somebody like yourself want to. You know what I'm saying? Interested and make you want to like reach out or whatever. Be like, oh, let me listen to his music. It's because I have an energy that I know could translate all across the world. A lot of people like they are internet artists, you know what I'm saying? And there's no disrespect, but it's just like that's the medium they chose to get whatever but that's not gonna last. That can't last forever. You know what I'm saying? It's not translatable across all mediums. You know
Sure,
what
at
I'm
some
saying?
point, the economics of free access to the internet is going to go away.
Oh
And
yeah,
at
if
some
you
point,
hit.
maybe we'll cycle back to live performances again. Shout out to Rufus Sims and D12 to Chicago to Detroit and Detroit to
Yes,
Chicago,
sir.
home and away. That's where I was able to see you live for the first time.
Peace.
Isaac Castor coming up next week.
Peace to my bro.
Really just been great, not only in Chicago, but expanding throughout the nation to support live hip hop throughout
Yes, sir.
the Midwest.
And we gonna keep it rolling, man. I got much love for Chicago, Rufus Sims, all the cats out there, man. Y'all got a heavy, heavy scene right now. So you bless my brother. You get to see some great live shows, and
Man,
I plan on being out there a lot. You know what I'm
yeah, well, let us know. We'll keep the dates marked for
saying?
you.
Easy.
So, we talked a lot about mix of gardening and hip hop. We talked about the urban agriculture scene in Detroit. We haven't talked much about whiskey. You say you're a whiskey fan. Tell me,
I am a
what do
whiskey
you do? What do you
guy.
be drinking? Jack Daniels? You a neat guy on the rocks? What?
I'm definitely a neat guy. All my whiskey, I like room temperature. I don't even like cold whiskey at all. Like I remember one time my girlfriend, she put all her liquor in the freezers because she drinking gin, she drinking tequila and shit. I don't do none of that shit. I'm a whiskey nigga. I like it straight up. I like it neat. And she put my shit in the freezer. I drank. I was like, yo, I'm finna fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm finna throw this shit at the wall. But you know what I'm saying? I like my shit like Don Draper. You know what I mean? My shit my shit chilling off to the side. I got my little wine glass. I got these nice Crown Royal. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog, a dreamer. She got me a Christmas gift a couple years ago. Got me these beautiful whiskey glasses, man. They're like, I'm still unpacking. I just moved, so I'm still unpacking. But if I had them
We'll have to
unpacked,
get
I'll
a
show
shot
you.
of those sometime. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. But yeah, big whiskey guy, man. And I done had pretty much every brand from Bullet. I like Bullet. I like saying Maker's Mark. Um, I like I even like cinnamon whiskey. I like what's that shit called?
The Fireball, or
Fireball. I fuck with Fireball.
yeah.
Crown Royal, you know what I'm saying? All the different type of flavors, man. It's something about it, man. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
we love
really
it, and we love being able to shine a light on
yeah.
craft distillers and getting some of the off Broadway performances. There's a lot of small guys doing it right and taking time with it, and it shows. So
Man, you're gonna have to put me hip to some of the local joints. We got one here called Detroit Distillery that's not bad. They do
okay.
wines and different things. I think they got a whiskey, but um yeah, Detroit Distillery is good, but I want to get hip to some of the shit that y'all got popping over there, man.
Yeah, I mean, we started with Few Spirits out of
Hmm.
Evanston. Paul Hletko was the founder of that and reformed attorney, and they're now distributed in over 37 countries. That's
Oh,
one of
that's
my favorites.
crazy.
They're American straight whiskey. They should be recognized at any of your like Binny's type. I don't know if you got like wholesale liquor distributors out there, but that's a good one. Taconic Distillery on the East Coast was a unique story. Paul Coughlin. Again, check out the interviews on YouTube at Beats
Okay.
Beds Browns. That guy was a stock trader, and he
What?
funded the first 5 years to be able to age the whiskey to be a formal bourbon. So a lot of guys in the distilling game, they'll come out and they'll release a vodka or a gin to change the economics and start to make
Yeah,
a
real
return a
quick.
little bit sooner.
Mm-hmm.
He had some
Yes, sir.
investors and some seed funding and built out the distillery, made it. And I found him in Arlington Heights. I didn't, it was by chance, came across Taconic. And after I interviewed him, had a chance to sample their goods, and it was top notch.
Oh man, I'm fucking with it. I'm about to go tap into that right now.
Yeah, no, we've got Thornton Distilling coming up this year, and it's just been a lot of fun. We had Boone County Jail Distillery out of Lebanon, Indiana, Kennard and Drake. It was a younger, very corn heavy
Yeah.
beverage, and then Duneland Distillery out of Duneland, Indiana, near Chesterton, ended up having some moonshine and stuff that came out and sampled that. So,
Ooh.
um,
Listen,
you
what,
know,
what
we're,
you what you don't know is I'm really a modern day troubadour, brother. I'm really I'm a cowboy ass nigga, man. Like so you speaking my language right now. I'm
I
at the
love
see
it.
what's
Yeah,
up.
man. It's get down with the ground, get down with the sound, get down
Yes,
with the
sir.
brown.
I like that. Cheers. I like that. My God. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
So,
my type of
how
shit.
about one lesson from nature or the land that you apply to your artistry?
Yeah, outside of the Bruce Lee shit, man, I got a I got a album called And Then Arose a Swan, right? And that came out in 2023. That was a very pivotal time for me as an artist, and it was I felt like that was like the start of a different phase of my artistry and me as a rapper. It was an album I was really proud of, but the whole concept of the album is the rose that grew from the concrete. Um, but it's just like that, even in that, like nature is so disruptive, you know what I'm saying? Like, and no matter where, like, nature sometimes doesn't do the things that you think it would do. You know what I mean? And it like a rose growing out of a concrete or the wind's blowing, the trade wind's blowing some seeds somewhere, and stuff starts to grow where like there's literally no, like I have a plant, you know what I'm saying? I have a plant in my crib like that doesn't require sunlight, that doesn't require, not a lot of sunlight, but you know what I'm saying? But doesn't require a lot of sunlight or water or whatever. And it still grows, and it's grown a whole nother root that grew a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
It's
the
the
dis-
ultimate underdog story.
the
Mother
ex-
Nature is out here beating the odds, and the
exactly.
plant that you plant directly in sunlight in the best soil gets outperformed by the tomato plant growing out the crack in the ground. You know,
Boom.
it is
Boom.
underdog
So it's like
defined.
I'm from an underdog city, from an underdog family. My story, even right now, is still the underdog story. So like, I resonate with that so heavily, and like, I think that's one of the beautiful things that nature has taught me, man. It's just like the resiliency, the disruptive nature of it, and also just like that underdog story. Like, no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what happens to me, no matter the harsh winters or whatever, I'm still gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna grow towards the sun. So
Yeah.
you know, that's one of them for sure.
It's there's a lot of guys. DJ Cavum, you got Ron Finley, the Garden Gangsta. You've got Heavy Crowns, who we interviewed out of Chicago, literally
He's
metaphorically talking about growing and planting seeds, growing as an artist, growing in the
wow.
ground, feeding communities. It's
Yes, sir.
so I can't believe we're 40 minutes in. I didn't even talk to you about the origin of your name, Dango Forlaine, aka the Black Swan, right?
That's right.
The most
Okay.
unique.
Okay, I like it, Joseph. I like it, man. You doing some knowledge. That's what's up.
So where did that originate from? How did that come to be?
Uh yeah, so Dango by itself is actually a nickname I got from my mother. So my real name is sounds very similar to Dango, and you know what I'm saying, my government name, I ain't gonna say my real name, but the name I was given at birth, it sounds very close to Dango. And my mom just came up with this name. She started calling me that, like probably around like 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? And she started calling me that. So by the time I was in 8th grade, I was already like, Facebook had started around that time. And so I mean, like my first name was like, you know what I'm saying, my last name, and then it was like Young Dango, because like that's what my mom's called me, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else called me by my last name, because my last name, I don't know, has a good like I don't know, but people like saying that, but rather than saying my first name. Anyway, so that name always stuck with me, and I used to actually be a big fan of Wale. You know what I'm saying? And so at that time, like, I would call myself Dango Forlaine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was rapping, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like super serious with it. I'm a middle schooler. You know what I'm saying? But when I started to rap for real, I just called myself YDF, because it was Young Dango F. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took away the Florin. And I was like, man, I'm not young no more as I got older. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just
Age is
seemed
undefeated,
corny.
man.
So like, I took off the young, and I'm like, yeah, I like this phonetically. I like the way that this sounds. You know what I'm saying? That four or that faux la. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to find something that was, still me, in that. And the 4 lane thing came after brainstorming with my team. And it was just like, because at the time I was wearing a lot of hats, man. I was like, in my mind, I was managing people, right? I was like 18 years old. I was like managing people. I had started my own label. I'm a rapper. I'm doing this, doing that. So I was like, yo, 4 lane. I'm in all these different lanes. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna spell it different so that it feels like a name. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just like some creative shit, behind the scenes. And so Dango 4 lane was birthed, and I kept it because it's so original, uh, instead of going and switching it up or shortening it. I kept it. And then Swan, that happened when I was in college. I started using it instead of swag. I thought swag was played out. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come up again phonetically. I thought that the swa was really good. I thought they had something with that. Like, it was very attractive. So a lot of people said swag. I was like, I just start saying Swan, and I start calling people Swan, and they start calling me Swan. You know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of morphed, you know what I'm saying? And like, I grew into it, and that's really my preferred name now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dango or Swan, you know what I'm saying? So, it's deeper backstories, but that's the, you know what I'm saying? That's the one
Yeah,
that's in
no,
there.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. And I don't know how familiar you are with the show, but we like to round it out with hard hitters and wig splitters. Yes or no, do or die,
Love
this or
that. Yes,
that,
sir.
question and answer session.
Yes,
If
sir.
you're ready, we can go ahead and enter into hard hitters and wig splitters.
Yeah, I done seen the episode or two. Let's
All
get
right,
it.
all right. Well, let's transition into that. All right, we're here talking with Dango Forlaine, about to run the gauntlet of hard hitters and wig splitters. This or that, do or die, yes or no, question and answer, quiz style format. You ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, don't think too hard.
Yeah, right.
Vinyl or MP3?
Oh, I'm going vinyl.
Vinyl. All
I'm
right, I
going
like it.
vinyl. Yeah, of course.
Audiophiles unite. Agra hood grown collards or store bought kale?
Come on, Angry Hood.
Agra hood it
Angry
is.
Hood, man. We in the
Agra hood
hood with it.
capital.
Yeah.
Beef patty or bean patty?
Bean patty, keep it
Bean
lean.
patty. All right, keep it vegan. Cypher or solo freestyle?
Cypher. You know what I'm saying? I love the energy of others. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
was gonna say playing off the energy of others.
yeah, man. That's the only time you're gonna get me to freestyle for real, man. I gotta be in that zone, man.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Record at 2 a.m. or write at 6 a.m.?
2 a.m. for sure. I ain't doing shit at 6 a.m. Like for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get up at 7 though. I'm up at 7, but yo, I'm a night owl. You know what I'm saying? That's why I did a lot of my work.
Okay. Okay.
2 a.m.
Grit or polish?
Grit, man. Come on, man. I'm a down and dirty kind of guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to get my hands dirty. I wear Carhartt for a reason. So we definitely true grit over here, man.
This one, maybe both. I don't know. Lyrical warfare or peacekeeping rhymes?
Yeah. Can I go both? I'll say this. I'll say lyrical warfare because that's the shit that's gonna get me juiced up, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if I listen, I love peacekeeping. I'm a peacekeeper. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? But when it come to that raw shit, ain't nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go with that.
I love it. It's the more that I get into this and talking to more and more artists, and it's the soundtrack of your life, right? Like, what are you going to listen to and when? When I'm in the gym pushing weight, what do I need? When I'm
Exactly.
what do I need? It's not always the same thing. So
that's right.
all right. Would you rather build a garden or build a label?
Oh, see, the garden is the seed to something else. The label is kind of like the bigger thing. So I'd rather build a garden because that's where it starts for me. Like a lot of, you'll see, we gonna connect, like I said, at another point on a lot of different stuff. But the garden is super essential. The label is gonna come, like that's the music shit is gonna happen, but my main mission is planting gardens in the mind and also physically across the world. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right, we got two more.
Let's get it.
Raps on rotation or new flows every time?
Hold on, say that first one again.
Raps on rotation or new flows every time? You got your favorites you go back to?
You're a motherfucker, man, because I love listening to and discovering new shit, but like ain't nothing like the shit you know. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm reciting that shit give me, like I said, give me that energy. So I'll probably go with that. Yeah, I recite like raps or rotation.
Yeah, same thing. It's a vibe, right? What are you feeling in the moment? Do I need a little
Sir.
nostalgia? Do I need to sing along, or do I need to just hear something? Vibe to the beat.
Exactly.
All right, you get one. A microphone, a pen, or a beat. Which one you holding?
A microphone, a pen, or a beat?
Yeah.
Microphone.
Spoken like a true artist. Dango Forlaine.
I don't always need a pen, baby.
Surviving. Hard hitters, wig splitters. And coming to the conclusion of our interview and our time together, Dango, I couldn't appreciate you more for sharing your evening with us. And again, we're here, Beets, Beds, and Browns, to get people to grow their own food. Visit beetsbedsbrowns.com, register for your free seed kit. You can use the QR code on the screen right now. 100,000 K in the next 10 years. We're trying to give away seed kits. I showed Dango, drop your name and address in the mail. We'll send it to you. You got dill, carrot, chaos, pumpkin, lettuce. Start growing. Start learning where your food comes from and what effort goes into growing it. Don't use pesticides. Don't use chemicals. Help with your mental health, fitness, and wellness. And again, while you're doing it, make sure that you're sipping on some good drink, listening to some good music, and tuning in to Beets, Beds, Browns.
That's fucking right. Listen to what Joseph said and then do it.
Awesome. Dango, tell the people where they can find you. Tell them what you got coming up. Let's close out the show, man.
Man, Dango Forlaine, you know what I'm saying? 313 on all social media platforms. If you want to know how to spell it, there it is right there. And if you still can't spell it after that, then, good luck, buddy. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm playing. But I'm grateful to everybody listening and all the people that are going to listen in the future and tune back into this interview in the future. Working on a lot of different music, a lot of different projects. But, what I want to say is, man, like, stay aware, you know what I'm saying? Stay present, be grateful, and keep moving. That's it.
Keep moving. I like it. No rest for the wicked.
Hey.
I'm Joe Skibby. This has been an interview with Dango Forlaine. Dango, I'm going to pull you out into the green room again. We'll cut it up before we close out. I'm going to close out the show.
Easy.
Thanks again for having us. We appreciate it.
Peace.
All right. That was Dango Forlaine. This is our 5th interview in season 6. If you enjoy gardening, hip hop, and bourbon, tap in at Beets, Beds, Browns. Follow us in our 100K in 10 years mission. We're trying to get people growing their own food, and we're giving away 100,000 seed kits in the next 10 years to do it. I'm not an expert at any of these things. I just love talking to talented artists, distillers, and homestead to commercial ag interests. So thank you guys. Have a great night.